Well, hello, hello. We are back for episode 2 of the She Means Business podcast. Boy, do we have a good one for you today, because what is it? We are, I don't know, about 10 days into the new year before we all start singing the Happy New Year and All Lang Syne. I always say that word wrong. But anyway, and with that comes what we all do, which is set resolutions. We go New Year's resolutions, New Year's resolutions. And so we thought it'd be a fitting thing today on episode 2 before the year ends to talk about resolutions, how to set them and how to keep them. Because I know I am probably in that 80% of people that fail at their resolutions. I was telling someone the other day, I was looking for the notebook that I put it in. Don't even know what it is. So that's how miserable I have failed at my goals and objectives and my resolutions that I wanted to achieve in 2023. Maybe I did a couple, maybe I didn't. But I know that one of the main ones that's on here today, I know I totally failed at. And so I'm sure you can guess which one with the picture in the background that Miss Karla has up and what she does absolutely fabulously well, right? So I have eight ladies to talk about. I think the top two resolutions that people tend to go to, one is, again, working out, fitness, and the other is finance and career as well. So she kind of holds both. So we're going to talk to Karla, who's a certified fitness instructor in the Nashville area. I've probably seen Karla around Nashville the last, I don't know, 15 years, and she literally looks the exact same.
Oh my
Exact same. So that's how great she is at her job. So you'll have her information at the end of this podcast so that you can reach out to her. And we also have Angela Ellis. I almost said Nashville native, but she is not, right?
Right.
Okay, thank you. But she's been around Nashville for a while, like me, and she is a financial and career coach. And so she's also going to talk a little bit about resolutions today. And so we're kicked back. We should probably have some hot chocolate or hot cider or wine, whichever one. But since we don't have it, you should have it because you can pause, go grab that, and listen to these dynamic ladies give us some advice about how to, again, make resolutions and keep them. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over and get them to introduce themselves so you can get to know a little bit about them. Again, I am, and I should have started that off, Alicia Burkett, member of Iota Phi Lambda Epsilon Psi chapter. And first, I'm going to turn it over to the lady with the body, Karla. Let's go. Yes.
Well, hi. Thank you so much for the introduction. I am Karla Frieson. I am a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and a corrective exercise specialist. I do personal training right here in Nashville. I've been doing it for over 6 years now. And I started because fitness just became a passion of mine. I was able to change my body over the years, and I wanted to be able to help other women do that.
Awesome. And again, great. She's a great marketing, right? Again,
Ah,
of that
thank
picture.
you.
And all right. And Angela?
Hello, I'm Angela Ellis. I am an author, coach, educator, and speaker. I help my clients with everything from leadership and performance management to their career journey. And as you said, finances. I wrote a book about my own personal financial journey and all of those goals that I had to set and keep to kind of eradicate debt and create wealth and all of those things. So, I am passionate about helping other people with those things as well.
Awesome. All right. So told you, got two great people to get women, because we mean business, to give us some advice. All right. So ladies, I mentioned it again. 80% of us fail at resolutions. Us. And I keep saying us because I am in that number. So I want to start doing it again. I want to make some good resolutions this year. And I'm going to say my number one is fitness. It is. All right. I feel like financial was the one that I had from last year and the last couple of years. And I started to do really well about that, right? Still can do better. as evidenced by the amount of stuff I need to sell, shopping. We're gonna put that in, we're gonna cover that up in a little bit. But fitness. So Karla,
Yes.
I'm coming to you as someone who needs some help with fitness and I want
Okay.
to make some goals. How do I make goals that ensure that I sustain those goals?
Okay. So I would say the first mistake that most people make when, setting that New Year's resolution and saying they're going to be fit is that they take on too much at one time. So, like the acronym, keep it simple. I won't say the last word, but I
Mm-hmm.
think keeping it simple, like they try to make too many modifications and changes at once, and that's not sustainable. So I would say if you're gonna, start trying to incorporate being fit, do one or two things. Like let's say let's eliminate bread out of your diet and let's walk 30 minutes a day. Let's do something that's attainable and sustainable. And that way you won't feel overwhelmed or feel like, oh my gosh, I can't achieve this. Once you achieve those small steps, then you can do more. You can say, I'm going to, work out 5 times a day. I mean, 5 times a week. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Or I'm going to eliminate cokes and bread out of my diet
Mm-hmm.
or cookies or sweets or something like that. So, they always say it takes 21 days before something becomes a habit. So do something for 21 days. And if you succeed at that for those 21 days, then incorporate something else. I think most people just try to take on everything. I'm going to change the way I eat. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do this. And they end up dropping the ball somewhere.
We're gonna tell on
Does
myself today.
that sound familiar?
It really does. It does. And so I was
Yeah.
sitting and I go, but I know why. One of the reasons, right? I would say this about us as people. We are a microwave society. We make
Mm-hmm.
things fast, right?
Yeah.
Like I know it took me 20 years to put on this weight,
Yes.
but I need to lose some weight in like the next
Uh,
21 days. I
yeah.
need 20 pounds. So it's that I need fast results. And I
Yeah.
know that that's kills a lot of us
It
because
does. It
I've been
does.
doing this for the
And,
last, and look, I only got 2 pounds off.
right. Yeah. And as a personal trainer, I understand that, but as a client coming to me, they generally don't understand that it's going to take time. Like, I make sure that when I'm doing my consultation with my clients, I want to set real expectations at that point. It's going to take at least 3 months of you being consistent, working out with me, and following this meal plan before you really see, some good numbers. And
Mhm.
that is you being consistent. So you're right. We want that quick weight loss, and we're doing pills and we're doing shots now,
Mhm.
which, that's fine if there's no other way for you to get it off, but that doesn't equate to being healthy either.
Right.
So for me, it's about health and wellness and, you know, taking shots and losing 10 pounds in a month is fine, but that doesn't make you healthy.
Correct. So what are so let me go back. I'm taking notes, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna watch what I eat,
Mm-hmm.
exercise, okay, because I'm not doing any of these right now. I'm not saying me per se, but I'm the listener.
The people.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta eat right,
Mm-hmm.
which means this is part two. So any referrals you have out there, I always say, I don't want to market anybody's business. I
Yeah.
mean, we want to market people's business, but I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But if you tell me and you give me a meal plan, and this is the first thing I do. So I gotta cook all of this. Like I gotta go chop up the vegetables, do this, do this, do this. And I go, that's just too much. So, do you have an alternative for people who are that I don't necessarily love cooking? How easy are the recipes?
I'm with you. I think cooking is overrated. I hate cooking, but because it's a necessity and it's something that we have to do and need to do. Of course I have to do it, but there are meal prep companies around. There's some locally. I think there's like a Clean Eats.
Mhm.
I know there are different locations that you could go to. There's some other companies, I can't think of the name, but what I always suggest with my clients, and this is what I did too, is that if I had to meal prep, I meal prepped on Sunday. I
Mhm.
meal prep for the week. And I'm a creature of habit. Some people cannot eat the same thing day in and day out. If I know it's benefiting me and I know it's good for me and it's going to get me to that end result, I have no problem doing it. So, as far as recipes are concerned, I just I just do clean eat meal plans. So whether that's baked chicken, whether that's mixed vegetables, whether that's rice, you know, it's all clean eats. It doesn't take long to cook. You could do ground turkey, you can do your salmon. Um, it doesn't take long. So it's nothing that you really have to get bell peppers out and chop up onions and put celery in. Nope. We can
None of
get
that.
some Mrs. Dash. We're going to season it up. We're not going to put a lot of salt. And we're not going to use all these different seasonings. We can use herbs. But yeah, it's really simple. And
Okay.
for a snack, if you had to do snacks, get you some carrots, get you some hummus, celery, a little peanut butter, small apple, simple things. I like to try to use whole foods as much as possible because I am vegan. I have been vegan for 6 years now.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So this is okay, so this is good because most of us that are starting, the overwhelming part of it is finding time. Like that's where I think a lot of I just don't have the time. Gotta find the time, right? So for me, I'm
Yeah.
like, I have the time. I just need to budget, right? So we're going to, as that transition on that I come to the finance about budgeting, but how do you budget your time wisely to ensure you have enough time to A, meal prep, B, work out,
Mhm.
whatever that may look like, and it is starting small. So so what do you typically recommend? 30, 45 minutes to start?
Yeah, I recommend at least 30 minutes. And, everybody's schedule is different, whether you work in the evening, whether you work a night shift, whether you work early in the morning, you know what's best for you. Like if I have to work out in the morning because in the evening, I know I'm going to just want to go home and go to bed and sit on the couch and look at Netflix. Set your clock at 3, 4 o'clock, whatever you have to do to get your workout in. I mean, I think
Ooh,
it's so
Angela, I see you nodding.
And then it's out of the way. It's
and
done.
it's out of the way. Exactly. Like for me, I have to work out in the morning because things come up throughout the day. Things could come up in the evening. It's going to derail you. But if I get up at 4, get my workout in, or 5, I have the rest of the day. Nothing interrupts you at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So that is first thing. And the other thing is that, if we want to speak about, how to avoid pitfalls, preparation is key.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation is key. Like if I know that this is my goal, how am I going to prepare myself? How am I going to stop myself from driving through the McDonald's drive-through line and grabbing me some fries because I did not make lunch?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I meal prep and I'm taking that lunch with me to work, then I'm not going to set myself up for failure and drive by McDonald's or Wendy's and make bad food choices.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm jotting my notes down, and so I'm gonna kind of recap. We're gonna come back to you a little bit to circle that
Okay.
back and say, all right, person listening, here are the things that you need to do. And at 4 o'clock, I'm gonna get over the 4 or 5 in the morning. That's still an Achilles heel for me. The only time I'm good about waking up early is when I got a flight. So
Oh
maybe I need to
no.
program myself that every day working out is I'm trying to get to the airport.
Okay, we say
21 days is a habit.
we don't catch feelings, we catch flights.
Yes.
We don't catch feelings, we catch fitness.
Fitness.
Yes.
All right.
That's a good one.
I
I like
like
that.
that motto. Right, coach?
Yeah.
All right, coach. I like that. Okay.
Very good.
So Angela, I'll transition to you a little bit, but touch it back to the fitness. What's your goal as it relates to fitness? How do you, as a coach, prepare yourself for working out? Because I happen to know you do it as well, right?
Yeah. So I am like, like Karla said, it is a commitment. It is a journey, and it is a lifestyle, right? It becomes a part of your life that you just incorporate, like anything else that matters, right? Because we make time for the things you talked about making time. We make time for the things that matter to us. And the thing that's funny about that, because my clients tell me all the time, I don't have time for various things, right? I don't have time to create a budget. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time for my family. I don't have time for all these different things. But we do make time for the things that matter.
True.
And it shows up in what you actually spend time on. It's not the stuff you say matters, right? Because we say our health matters and our family matters. We say that stuff matters. But if you spend 10 hours a day on Facebook, Facebook matters. That's what matters.
Yeah.
It shows up in how you actually spend your time, right? So we have to kind of evaluate that, like how we're actually spending the time. So for me, I have goals, and this will sound familiar to y'all because we have a similar background. So I have goals around family, fitness, faith, and finance. Y'all remember,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So pretty much every year, those four things in some way or another are going to be touched on. And for me, in the fitness arena, it is maintenance, for me at this point, continuing the schedule, especially kind of press and reset after the holidays. I think because most people kind of stray away from that as we spend time with our families and all the good cooking and eating and go to holiday parties and just kind of pressing that reset button and giving myself some grace, right? Knowing that on Christmas Day, I'm not going to have just salmon and Brussels sprouts like I would normally have in my meal prep. And giving myself a little, grace about that.
It's all about balance.
It definitely is. And I will say that every single thing that Karla mentioned about fitness applies to finance and all the rest of the stuff. Making time for it, the 21 days it takes to create a habit, that goes with your financing too. 21 days of for example, just having enough, if you're an overspender, just having enough cash with you for the week to get you through the week, right? It would take 21 days of doing that to make that a habit. 21 days of keeping and adhering to a budget. So all of those things, still apply with your finances. And then, as I said, deciding what is important. Because I feel like whenever we are saying, a lot of times when it comes to our finances and with fitness too, people think about what they have to give up, right? I'm not going to be able to do this and go here and spend on this and all the things you have to give up. But what I remind clients of is when you are saying no to something, you're saying yes to something else. Mm-hmm. So in order to say, so don't look at it as saying no to whatever it is, 6 vacations a year, a whole new wardrobe, having somebody else clean your house instead of you cleaning it yourself, right? Instead of it being saying no to those things, it's saying yes to something else, right? Saying yes to being debt free, being financially independent, being able to quit a job you hate because you have enough money to sustain you until you find a job you love or create a job you love. So you're saying yes to something. It's not just about denying yourself It's about, although it will take discipline, everything important does. But it's not just about giving up things, it's about saying yes to things that are more important. Right.
Right.
So how do you, almost like the same thing with the fitness, right? How do you take that first step in, yeah, I don't have the money in my account. Like I don't have savings. I feel like I am check to check and I just don't have that extra income. And then you're telling me I need to save money. Like, what do you tell someone in that position how to get started so that they see some results
Mhm.
and they don't get discouraged?
So it can sometimes just start with an evaluation, evaluating what you're currently spending money on, what your current spending habits are, and the kind of spender that you are. For example, some people are emotional spenders, just like being an emotional eater, right? Some people are emotional spenders. So when we're lonely, or when we're tired, or when we're sad, or when we're frustrated, we might comfort ourselves or reward ourselves. That's literally where the phrase retail therapy comes from, right? So we want to either comfort ourselves or reward ourselves in some way. And then it's the kind of the thought process that I deserve that. I work hard. I deserve that. Right.
Mhm.
Um, so evaluating what you're spending money on, and kind of the mindset that got you there. So you look at that bank statement and you say, "Oh my Lord, why did I spend $500 on no shoes?" And think back to that day, right? And how you were feeling and what you were doing, and that can kind of help you identify those emotional triggers that set you off to go straight to the mall after work instead of going straight to the gym. Going straight to the mall, um, to give yourself that retail therapy. So it starts with that kind of evaluating, and like I mentioned, then figuring out what you're willing to say no to, so you can say yes to something else. And that yes is different for everybody. So maybe it's yes to your kids college fund. Maybe it's yes to that dream vacation that you and honey want to take. Maybe it's yes to early retirement. Maybe it's yes to
Yes
your
to a home.
home,
Yes to
even
home
to your
ownership.
health, even to your
Hmm.
health, Karla, because people don't want to
Yes.
spend that money on that gym membership and that
They
personal
will. Oh
trainer.
my God. Yeah, we can talk about that all day. The health and fitness is the first thing to go when they say, "Oh, I
Listen,
need to budget. I've got to save money."
exactly. I
Yeah.
had a girl
I feel
tell
attacked. I feel attacked. I
I
feel
had a
attacked.
girl tell me that she was like, "Oh, I would love to have a coach, but I can't afford it." And then I
Mm-hmm.
looked down at the Gucci boots on her feet. Now, listen, I'm not trying to get in anybody's pocket and tell anybody, like, girl, you got
Yeah,
6 months. You got 6 months on your feet. It
exactly.
doesn't matter what's important to you.
And that's what I tell my clients when they're like, "Well, I can't afford. I'm gonna have to stop for a minute." But it either it's now or you're gonna be paying doctor's bills. You're gonna be buying prescriptions. You're gonna be doing this. So you have to weigh that out.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
money is there. It's just going somewhere else. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
clothes, it's going to
Yep.
nails, it's going to
Yep.
hair, it's going to lashes, it's going
Hmm.
to makeup, it's going to new gadgets and devices,
Right. That's right.
furniture. It's just going to other things, but
It
it's there.
is.
It's
It's
there for
there.
most people. It is there. We can carve out that little money for it.
I agree.
Just like we carve it out for the new outfit we want to wear for New Year's
Mhm.
Eve, right? We can find it.
Yeah.
We can make it happen.
I,
You're a preacher now, Angela.
yeah. Because it is true. And I listen. I'm listening. I'm not just talking, but I am absorbing the information because it is personal. Because I could set goals. We do it at work, right? You have to set your goals, and every quarter you have to come back and you have to update your goal setting before your annual performance reviews. Like, only been doing it for years, not just for myself, but for my team members and my employees. But when it comes to the personal,
And that's
terrible
because at
about it.
work, somebody's going to hold you accountable for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. In
So
all the other areas of your life, nobody's going to hold you accountable. Your raise doesn't depend on it, your promotion, your livelihood doesn't depend on it. So it's easy to let it, let it fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that's what happens. We don't have the accountability that we need. And that's what I become as the career and finance coach. And I know that's what Karla is as the personal trainer. That is literally your accountability partner.
Yep.
That makes sure that you are pushing yourself, that you don't stop, that you don't, quit, that you don't come up with a bunch of excuses for why you can't do it, right? Why don't have the money or don't have the time or whatever.
I
Um,
just took on a new client this past week, and we had our first session today, and she was like, afterwards, she was tired and she was like, my legs were shaking, but she was like, I need this. Like, I need to be held accountable. And, because I can go to the gym, but I'm not going to do what we do here. Like, I'm going to stop and look at my phone and look at social media. And so I'm not going to push myself the way I would unless I was with somebody who was there pushing me.
Yeah.
So yeah, accountability is important.
Number
Absolutely.
one. And I know some people are like, well, I tell my friends. Your friends can only hold you accountable so much, right? Because your
Yeah.
friends have their own goals to meet, and so they can't manage you. Because people would say that have an accountability circle, and sometimes that's okay, right? If you have group
Yeah.
fitness and you
If there's
know,
like-mindedness, then
yes,
yeah, that's
that is
good.
correct,
Yeah.
and
If,
that's
if everybody or both people are
Mhm.
committed, right, to really holding each other accountable. Like, come on, we said we were gonna go and walk every
Right.
day. Let's get it. Let's do
Yep.
it.
yes,
Um,
Yep.
but if you both tend to waver,
hmm
you're not gonna hold each other
right,
accountable. It's gonna be more
No.
like, girl,
yeah.
let's
I
Let's go
definitely
have a drink. Let's
all
go to
right.
this restaurant.
I definitely remember some times where we would end up in O'Charlie's happy hour and say, we go to the gym tomorrow. Back when there were wings. This is how far back I'm going on how bad I've
hmm
been sometimes with
Yeah.
fitness. But this, look, I always tell people it's the most talked about topic. It is how, we're going to start seeing the articles. We know we're going to start seeing the gyms get full. Those of us that haven't been in one,
hmm
not sure I'm gonna make January 1st when I join one at all. I likely will wait a little while before I probably go in, so I don't feel like I'm part of the cliche that says I joined on January 1st and then drop off in March. But I also want to do some small steps, right? Because one of the things, I think you said it, make your goals attainable,
hmm
right? I know we talk about SMART goals in corporate, and it's almost the same thing in your personal life. But again, you can't say, "Oh my gosh, I've not been eating right, I've not been working out, and I hate waking up early." And now all of a sudden on day one, I'm like, I'm meal prepping, I'm working out
Yeah.
5 days a week at 5 in the morning.
Yeah. You're gonna burn out.
I'm failing on day one, right?
hmm
Well,
right.
Yep.
shortly thereafter. So what I feel like I need to do is figure out, of those three, which one can I do first and get a little bit of a rhythm and
Yep.
then ease in. So
Mhm.
for me, I would say, because they say eating isn't it? What, tell me again, Karla. Eating is how many?
Eating is 80% of it. So if you can somehow, watch your portion sizes, watch what you're putting in, whether it's carbs, like Angela was saying, with finances and with fitness, it's all emotional.
Mhm.
Like I sometimes have to find out, why am I eating? Like, am I bored? Am I stressed? Am I sad? Like, what is the reason behind it? Because I can just be sitting here on a computer and I'll just go to the kitchen and grab something. I'm not hungry. So,
Snacking.
yeah, whether it's increasing your water intake, whether it's just watching your portion controls, that's a good way to start.
Okay. So circling back, so someone who's thinking about fitness, not just number one, you need a good accountability. You need to find a Karla
hmm
person to help
Right.
you out. And Karla, how can someone reach you? We're going to also have it at the end, but
Okay.
let's say verbally, can we reach you?
Okay, I do have a IG page, Instagram, and Facebook. My handle on IG is FryFit Life. My handle on Facebook is FryFit. So that's FRIFIT, and that's where you can find me. My email is also fryfitlife@gmail.com.
Perfect, perfect. And it's that look, again, Karla's been, she said 6 years.
Mhm.
Probably been working out
But
pretty
the
regularly.
journey, yeah, the
Yeah,
journey has been a long
a
time.
long time.
Yeah.
Definitely someone who has the experience, the knowledge, and the expertise to get you where you need to be. So thank you so much, Karla. I appreciate you lending your expertise here to us today. And
Thank
then
you.
you're welcome. And Angela, what would you you leave people with as far as how to make those goals and keep them?
Very similar, I would say. Start with something small and attainable. In my book, I talk about how you can get to about 10,000 in savings in 1 year. And it starts with very, very small changes, like dollar a day changes. And so what does that look like? It might be one one week or 1 day a week of not having the Starbucks and making the coffee at home. That'll save you $1 a day. It might be giving up one of the streaming services. We have like 5, 7, 11 of them. Just giving up one of them
Mhm.
will be $1 a day. Finding those subscription services that you don't need. Everything comes in a box, right? So the makeup box of the month and the clothes box of the month, and everything just comes in a monthly subscription. Which one of those can we pause? Can we suspend for a minute? And so those dollar a day changes really add up.
Yeah.
And before you know it, once you see that start to increase, like, oh my God, I gave up one thing and now I have $500. I gave up two things and now I have $1,000. Then you start looking for it. Like, what else? What else can I do? Because at
Yes.
that point, the things that you want are becoming more realistic, right? The car that you want, the vacation that you want, those things seem more realistic once you see that money start to increase. So it kind of feeds itself once you see it happening. And like you mentioned earlier, people want instant gratification, but it really is steady, right? It's slow and steady, wins the race.
Awesome.
So it does happen gradually over time.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, how can so on Facebook and IG?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is so on Facebook, IG, and LinkedIn, I am Enhance Coach.
And
And then my email is angela@enhancecoach.net.
awesome. Oh my gosh, this has been very educational for me, and I hope it has been educational for you. Again, accountability is what I leave here. Be very specific in what you want. Don't be too vague, but don't also take on too much at one time. Um, 21 days make a habit. And I do remember I've got some experience practicing that. So if you have to reset the clock in 2024 and there's any of these goals, and I don't think they're just specific to fitness or finance. Again, it could be your career. It could be, I want to get a second job, whatever that may be, start my own job, be an entrepreneur, set some goals, make them attainable, get accountability, whatever that may look like. And I think in 2024, by the time we come back to December, you will say, I did it. And maybe this was the podcast that helped you launch that. Thank you so much, ladies, for lending your time and your experience again today. Until next time, people, on episode 3, we'll see you in 2024. Have a happy new year and a great rest of the holiday. Thanks, everybody.